You can just feel that things are starting to change. There's been a lot of noise lately, plenty of opinions flying around, and not every Browns fan is looking at it the same way. But when you really take a step back and look at everything that's happened, there's a bigger picture that deserves some attention. Some moves were tough to accept, some raised a lot of questions, but they might just be setting this team up for something much bigger than people expected. Let's break it all down and see why there may be more reasons to be excited than frustrated. If you enjoy Browns content like this, make sure to hit that like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're a real member of the Dawg Pound, comment "Here we go Brownies," so I know who's riding with this team all the way. The last month has completely changed the way many people look at the Cleveland Browns. And now one of the biggest insiders in football is offering a perspective that many fans probably did not expect. ESPN's Adam Schefter believes that while Jimmy Haslam has taken enormous criticism, the Browns may have actually handled one of the most difficult situations in the best possible way. According to Schefter, Cleveland received about as much value as any team realistically could have received in exchange for Myles Garrett. He pointed out that the organization landed Jared Verse along with multiple future draft picks, calling it a return that deserves recognition rather than constant criticism. Schefter also described Garrett as a disgruntled star who wanted out, reinforcing the idea that Cleveland wasn't simply choosing to move on from one of the league's elite defenders. It was dealing with a situation that had already reached a point where a trade became necessary. That opinion is especially interesting because it comes from someone who has covered NFL front offices, general managers, and blockbuster trades for decades. Schefter emphasized that the Browns extracted maximum value from a player whose departure had become inevitable. As painful as it is for Browns fans to imagine the defense without Garrett, the compensation package changes the conversation. Jared Verse immediately becomes one of the foundation pieces of the next era in Cleveland, and the additional draft capital gives and Drew Barry more opportunities to continue reshaping the roster. Even former NFL executives have reportedly praised the value of Verse, considering both his talent and the financial advantage of having such a productive young player under team control. The biggest takeaway from Schefter's comments wasn't simply about the trade itself. It was what he said afterward. He believes the Browns are positioned well for the future, and when you examine the roster, it's easy to understand why that opinion is gaining traction. Cleveland suddenly has one of the youngest collections of impact players in the league. Jared Verse is only 25 years old. Mason Graham is just 22. Quinton Judkins is also 22. Harold Fannin Jr. is viewed as a player with the potential to become one of the NFL's premier tight ends, while Carson Schweizinger has already earned enormous respect around the league despite being only 23 years old. Perhaps the clearest sign that this young core is earning national recognition came with the NFL's top 100 players list. Carson Schweizinger was already voted among the league's top players, coming in at No. 93. That recognition carries extra weight because it comes from fellow NFL players. Opponents who line up against him every Sunday have acknowledged the impact he's already making. For a player this early in his career, receiving that level of respect says a lot about where his future could be headed. Then there's the draft class, which could accelerate this rebuilding process even faster. Cleveland addressed its biggest offensive need by selecting left tackle Spencer Fano, an athletic blocker praised for both his ability and character. The Browns followed that by adding to wide receivers with contrasting skill sets, designed to complement each other, before moving aggressively to secure Emmanuel McNeil-Warren after believing he represented tremendous value in the second round, considering that Cleveland led the league in rookie snaps last season. There's every reason to believe these newcomers will contribute immediately rather than waiting years to develop. Of course, one major question still hangs over everything: the franchise quarterback. The organization hopes that answer arrives soon, because once that position is settled in, provided the rebuilt offensive line performs significantly better than last year's struggling unit, the Browns could move from rebuilding to legitimately competing inside the AFC North much sooner than many people expect. That possibility is exactly why Schefter believes Cleveland's long-term outlook deserves far more optimism than pessimism. After hearing one of the NFL's most respected insiders defend the Garrett trade and say the Browns are building toward a brighter future, do you believe Cleveland is truly on the right path? Or do you think giving up Myles Garrett will always outweigh everything they received in return? Before you go, I want to hear from every Browns fan watching right now. Do you agree with Adam Schefter that the Browns made the best possible move by trading Myles Garrett? Or do you think Cleveland gave up too much, no matter what they received in return? Drop your opinion in the comments because I'm reading every single one. And if you enjoy Browns news without the hype or the nonsense, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss another update. Click the video that's on your screen now to keep watching because the biggest Brown stories always break here first. See you in the next one. The optimism surrounding Cleveland doesn't stop with the roster itself, because there are still moves the front office could make before the regular season even begins. One topic that has generated plenty of discussion among Browns fans is the possibility of signing Joey Bosa. Ever since reports connected Cleveland to the veteran pass rusher, many supporters have wondered whether bringing the former Ohio State star back home could help replace some of the production lost after the Myles Garrett trade. But according to Adam Schefter, that scenario appears increasingly unlikely. Schefter revealed that, based on what he's hearing around the league, it is more likely than not that Joey Bosa has already played the final snap of his NFL career. He explained that if Bosa truly wanted to continue playing football, a contract probably would have materialized by now. Those comments certainly caught the attention of Browns fans, because Bosa remains a recognizable name who still flashed his pass rushing ability last season. Even though injuries have limited his availability throughout recent years, many believe he could still provide valuable depth for a contender. Schefter's update, however, suggests retirement may ultimately be the direction Bosa chooses. That doesn't mean Cleveland has ignored the edge position, quite the opposite. The Browns have quietly continued adding competition throughout the offseason. They signed undrafted free agents Logan Fano, the brother of rookie tackle Spencer Fano, along with Tyreek Sapp and Cord Stender, players viewed as intriguing developmental additions. They also re-signed Julian Okwara and extended Alex Wright, while Jared Verse now steps into a much larger role after arriving in the Garrett trade. The message from the organization is clear. The defensive line remains one of the team's biggest priorities, and they're determined to maintain that identity even after losing one of the NFL's most dominant defenders. NFL insider Jeremy Fowler also reported that Cleveland is expected to continue searching for additional depth before the season begins, particularly at edge rusher and cornerback. While the Browns have invested heavily in rebuilding their pass rush, the secondary remains an area that could use reinforcement. The concern is understandable. Whenever Denzel Ward has missed time, the defense has struggled to maintain the same level of consistency. Quality cornerbacks are never easy to find, but adding another reliable veteran could provide valuable insurance during a long NFL season. When you put everything together, a fascinating picture begins to emerge. The Browns have accepted short-term pain in exchange for long-term flexibility, accumulated young talent across the roster, added promising draft picks, and still possess opportunities to strengthen key positions before Week 1. The biggest question remains under center. But if Cleveland eventually solves the quarterback position, the foundation being built today could become the core of a team capable of challenging for championships. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and click the video on your screen for more Browns coverage, because the latest Cleveland Browns news and exclusive updates are waiting for you right here.